Madinah Institute for Leadership and Entrepreneurship, MILE.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure being here with you. Today, I believe we have a lot to discuss and present and share with you. And today actually started a few years back in 2007 when I went to Balanced Scorecard Forum in Dubai, where I attended a few days with Norton and Kaplan, the Balanced Scorecard inventors. At that time, I didn't hear a word about project. Few months after that, I went for PMI Global Congress in Malta, where I didn't hear as well any word about Balanced Scorecard. Then I thought there should be a linkage. There is a gap between these two worlds, Balanced Scorecard and project management. That's why I presented a paper called Managing Between PMI Standards and Balanced Scorecard in the next year. Today, I'm here to continue that journey, which started a long time ago. At that moment, I told people that the KPIs are the right connector between Balanced Scorecard and project management. Today, I'm changing my mind. I want to share the new idea with you. I'm claiming that benefit management is the right connector, not only between strategic management and project management, but across the whole organization. In order to do that, we will raise a couple of questions today. We will try to answer all of it, and I will leave some for you. And today, we have two main elements to discuss what is benefit management and how it works, and how to utilize these project management to fill a lot of gaps I saw in different organizations when I used to establish PMO and supervise some of ePMO and OSM as well. This is me, and I believe the introduction was enough to know more about me. And if you would like to know more, please visit my LinkedIn webpage. Let's go. It's the right time to call for all your attention, call for your experience, and stay here with me, please. Please try to stay here. Think how to apply what you will discuss or we will discuss to your organization. Listen as if you will present these slides, all these ideas to your colleagues. I will be so happy to answer your questions during this session and after that. So let's go and start with talking about the organizational management system. The organizational management system starts from this chart, which I believe, which I think, in my opinion, that this is the most important chart PMI has produced. It shows how to manage all kinds of activities in your organization. Actually, it covers all kinds of activities, temporary, ongoing, or even for the short term or long term. PMI called this chart once as a strategic and operational process. And in another standard, they called it the organizational context of portfolio management. To be honest, I believe this chart, which I believe the most important one, should be called the organizational management context, and I will explain why I think that. One of the beauty about this chart that you can utilize it to show many meanings. One of it is how to formulate your strategy as well as how to execute it. The first part, which is setting the business strategy, this is the top part of the chart, represent the management approaches to set its strategy. That's why I call it set business strategy. The left side shows the different ongoing activities, both the planning and execution, while the right side shows the temporary activities, and also it's both sides, planning and execution. These tiny arrows, I believe you still can see it, between different levels and sides in the chart, shows how organization can work in a synchronized and harmony phase. Every part is feeding to another part. For example, The organizational strategy and objectives are linked to portfolio management to establish a balanced usage of resources. The purpose is to maximize the value of executing programs and projects as well as the operational activities. Another usage for this lovely chart, it can help you to understand how different organization units can interact with each other. If you have just started with project management, maybe you need only a PMO, project management office. If you start to manage programs, then you may need to call it enterprise project management office. And if you start to participate in strategic management activities, then you may call your PMO strategic PMO. The functional units on the left side represent all ongoing departments such as HR, legal, finance, and it could represent as well the production line if we are talking about industrial environment. At the top, the strategy department, or in some organization they call it OSM, Office of Strategic Management. So this chart can help you in showing different aspects of your organization. And this chart also can be represented in another way. This is the strategy, the top part, which is cascaded, interpreted into portfolio or a group of portfolios. This portfolio is cascaded into programs, projects. The business impact is analyzed once you deliver the result, and we will discuss this in details. And you may need to do some kind of portfolio revision to make sure that everything is aligned. After having these results, you may need to move it to the operation departments. All of that needs to do some kind of value performance analysis inside the organizational environment. One of these chart beauties is showing the flow nicely. Only one thing I miss here, which is the connection from portfolio to the operation as shown in the previous chart. However, let's assume it is there somehow, as I want to focus on something else today. Today, I will discuss with you few gaps I saw in different organizations. Actually, for me, the common missed arrows, which represent 3 gaps actually, are as shown in this slide. The first gap is from strategy to portfolio. The second is from portfolio to programs and projects. And the third one is from programs, projects, and the operation. Could you please write in the chat window which gap or gaps do you find currently in your organization? Do you have a missed linkage between the strategy and portfolio? Do you have the gap number 2 between the portfolio and programs and projects? Or the third one? Or maybe you have another gap in somewhere else. Please write it down in the chat window and I will review that by the end. Although there could be more than the presented 3 gaps, I will focus only on those 3 for today. These are the gaps which we will try to bridge by benefit management. Therefore, let's go and discuss first what is benefit management. As you see, I'm calling it, it's more than moving boxes. Why I'm calling it this way? Because this is the simplest definition for benefit management. It's not only moving boxes into the client side or into the other department. It's opening those boxes after delivering it and use its content. I believe that's not clear. Let's try it with IKEA or IKEA example. What does IKEA sell in common for their customer. It sells only boxes, right? This is their project deliverable. Unless you open it and assemble whatever inside it, you still have only a box, or what I call deliverable. You may ask someone to come and assemble it for you. This guy will execute and build another project, and you will get your furniture or whatever part you bought ready for usage. Now you have the books open and the content assembled, but you didn't use it yet. Once you start using that books or what was inside the books, only at that moment you will start to get its benefit. After a while, these benefits will be realized on a continual basis. This is the moment when you feel that the value of your money and also your home value will be increased. What is a benefit? If this is the general meaning of benefit, what is a benefit? As per PMI standard, the standard for program management, it's an outcome of actions, behavior, products, or services that provide utilities to the sponsoring organization as well as to programs' intended beneficiary. So we are judging the benefit from programs' intended beneficiary. This is the first comment about this definition. The second comment I have that it's not an outcome rather than a result. Actually, it's an end result, not only a result. And I will tell you more why I'm saying that. Usually, benefits are defined based on the intended beneficiary. Sometimes it can be certain, easily quantifiable, concrete or finite. It can be 20% increase in revenue, and I know this can be also a strategic objective, and this is something we will discuss later, what is the relation between a benefit and strategic objective. Also, it can be less easier or less easy quantifiable. It can be hard to be measured, such as improving an employee morale. Some benefits, such as expanded market presence or improved financial performance, can be realized within the organization performing the program. On the other side, some benefits can be realized by other organizations. How do we create the benefit? As per this text I extract from PMI, Program Standard for Program Management, and as I understand benefit, the first step coming from project level. Each project produces an output or outputs. Usually, a group of projects under a program umbrella produce several outputs, which will enhance current capabilities in the organization, or even it can develop new capabilities in that organization. Once these capabilities are integrated and enable the organization to start a new stage of performance or level of work, we call all of that outcome. At this moment, if we utilize this outcome, we start to gain the benefit. This is only the moment we can call it benefit. So we start with project to produce output. This output, in cooperation with other outputs, build the capabilities. These capabilities, once it's ready to be performed or ready to be used, then we have outcome. Once we utilize this outcome and start to produce some results, then we call it benefit. The more benefit we realize, the better value we gain. The word value here, it means the business value, which is unique for each organization. Generally, we mean by business value the entire value of the business, or the total sum of all tangible or intangible elements. And let me explain more about benefit creation by showing this full program picture. This is an example for a program where the program starts with the preparation and end with delivering the consolidated program, consolidated benefits. This is a full picture. It is expected from each element of the project, either sub-program, project, or other work, to produce an output or more than one output. Together, they will form a benefit. This benefit can continue to be consolidated at the end of the program, or we may decide to discrete it. The other will be consolidated at the end of the program. After that, and as we will explain later, it will be, or we will do our best to sustain this benefit. So this is what I'm showing here, or pointing to: program definition, program benefit delivery, program closure. This is what we call program management life cycle. And to explain it more, this is the program benefit management part. PMI consider the benefit management purely a part of program management. Therefore, as you see at the top of this chart, there are main three phases. These three phases together called program life cycle, where we define the program by formulating it and preparing for it. Then we start the benefit delivery, and this is the main bulk of the program management. We start delivering the benefits, which will remain till the program closure, which happen by transition and closing out. And this is what we will discuss in details now. This is the benefit life cycle and management. The purpose of this life cycle and management is to focus program stakeholders on the outcomes and benefits. Remember the definition of program: a group of interrelated projects. When managed together, it will avail and bring more benefits, more control, which is not available from managing those projects individually. So the main point of benefit is to focus program stakeholder on outcomes and benefits to be provided by the various activities conducted during the program duration, to focus the program team on the final benefit or final delivery. In order to manage benefits, we need to do 5 things. Let's call it process, call it activities. To identify these benefits, to analyze and plan for it, to deliver it, and check if there are more or new benefits to be analyzed and planned in a loop way. So you will continue analyzing, planning, and making sure that you are delivering these benefits. Otherwise, you may need to analyze and plan again. Once the program team is confident that benefits are being delivered, they should start transition activities to make sure the benefit owner realize it. And as a result, he or she will sustain it. I will discuss each step of these 5 steps in details in the coming slides. Let's move to the first gap. We are not aligned, and this is some kind of strategy talks. As we mentioned earlier, strategy feeds portfolio level with the strategic objectives and expected targets value. In many organizations, I saw this gap. Strategy team are talking in their language, such as KPI, KPT, operational KPI, strategic KPIs, while portfolio people either not exist at all or cannot understand this terminology in their real meaning. Or those portfolio people are thinking about grouping projects or targeting new industry, targeting new client. So they are not talking the same language. And this is the first gap I saw. Strategy and portfolio are not aligned. Let's think of this gap using root cause analysis technique in a simple way. The main problem is having strategy and portfolio not aligned. The first cause I saw comes to my mind is mismatching targets and results. Why do you think that happened? I believe it happened because of talking different language. Each team is talking from his point of view. So why they are talking different language? It's because they have different interests and references. Usually, strategy people are keen about collecting information about KPIs and KPTs, while portfolio people are thinking of programs and projects and how they are synchronized and working under one umbrella. How can benefit management help in such situation? The first activity in managing benefit or benefit management is to analyze the available information about organizational and business strategies. Benefit identification purpose is to analyze this area. When portfolio people do it, it's like asking what is behind this KPI. If portfolio people will adopt the benefit, they will ask what is behind the KPI. By asking this question, everyone may enhance these KPIs by adding more or emerging some of it. Reallocating this step to be linkage, the linkage between strategy and portfolio, will help both sides to understand each other's. More details about that? As you see at the top of this chart, it's all begin by strategic objectives and end by realizing the value. The program mandate, this important decision or document, the program mandate and business case should include the target benefits, not only the KPI, not only the strategic objectives. Actually, benefit can be strategic objective or subsidiary one. There are several activities to be done to define the benefit. One of it, which I believe important for our gap, is developing meaningful metrics and KPIs. So having KPI is part of benefit identification. I'm afraid I saw a lot of top management who became a fan of KPIs only for controlling purpose. They derived their organization to be KPI driven, not benefit seeker utilizing KPI to realize it, not utilizing KPIs to achieve the benefits. They became mad of KPIs. I believe on the other side, the strategy people should tell the target value or strategic objective before the KPT, before the KPI. They should tell the target benefits before anything else. Portfolio and program people should extend the benefit register, which one of the benefit identification activity output. They should extend it to include the target value or main strategic objective, which will be affected by this benefit. So if we utilize the first activity of managing benefits, which is identify benefits, I believe we will be talking the same language with the strategy team. At this moment, we will have shared and matched targets and results. As a result of all of that, we can claim strategy and portfolios are aligned. That was the first gap. What about the second gap? It's a matter of translation from portfolio domain into program and project domains. Moving into gap number 2 will raise the issue of organization focus. Again, this is our organizational management system chart. Once the strategy is cascaded into a portfolio or portfolios, each portfolio should have its own plan. And from time to time, this portfolio should conduct a revision. And the purpose of this revision is to evaluate the value generated from the projects and programs and operational work within that portfolio. So we plan for it and we review, are we achieving our values through this group of programs and projects? This revision may reinforce component in alignment, and also it may close initiatives that are not aligned. One of the main aims of this linkage between portfolio and program and projects is to balance utilizing resources among different components according to the priority we will agree upon. But this is not the case in all time. I saw in many places unbalanced usage of resources in executing programs, projects, and operations. I saw organizations focus only on some components because of its attractiveness or the expected public impact, especially after the social media intervention and power. In other organizations, results are not delivered equally. They are biased and affected by a lot of influencers, where strategy is not one of it. They didn't agree upon prioritization criteria because they didn't do the proper analysis nor the planning. And here comes the benefit management. Actually, there are two steps in benefit management steps. The 5 steps can help us to fill or bridge this gap. The first step is benefit analysis and planning. Once we identified benefits, we got its KPIs and added it to the benefit register, it's time to analyze and plan for it. The purpose is to develop realization plan and agree how we will monitoring and controlling it. How does benefit analysis planning bridge the gap between portfolio side and programs and project side? First, let's remember the relationship between the different domains as we showed in this, as is being shown in this chart. Programs, as you can see, programs including projects are part of the portfolio, which is a part of the strategic vision. Once the program authorized as part of the portfolio, it will be defined and immediately benefit management starts. One of the benefit analysis planning process output is benefit realization plan, which formally document the activities necessary for achieving the program's planned benefits. Another important aspect of this process is the activity of prioritizing program components, and this is the bridge actually. To prioritize program or portfolio components, including projects and sub-programs, this is the area we will talk the same language again. This prioritization has a mutual relationship with portfolio revision. As a result of active and continual monitoring of prioritized benefits, benefits realization, portfolio will balance resource usage. The second step, which will help us to balance allocating resources in executing programs and projects, is benefit delivery. The purpose of this step is to ensure that the program delivers the expected benefits. And these expected benefits, or the list of benefits, is already prioritized, as defined in the benefit realization plan. As you see, while delivering benefits, there could be some reasons to go back and do another analysis and planning. Sometimes you discover new benefits or discrete it, all of that may affect other benefits. That is why another iteration of analysis and planning may be required and appear while you are managing benefits. This is another very nice chart from PMI showing how benefit delivery elaborate over the time. As you see in this example, benefit delivery start within the program. As you see the program boundaries, the benefit or program benefit delivery is a part of it, which not necessarily happening in all times. Sometimes you deliver benefits after the portfolio, after the program is finished. Benefit delivery actually continue after program in most of the cases. Back to our gap, one of the benefit delivery activities is monitoring the organizational environment, program objectives, and benefits realization. What is the purpose of that? The purpose is to ensure that the program remains aligned with the organization's strategic objectives. That's why the gap we are facing unbalanced usage of resources. If we perform benefit analysis and planning, we will get prioritized components. Accordingly, we will allocate the proper resources for each one. Once we have it and start to deliver benefits, as we mentioned in the previous slide, we need to monitor delivery against the plan and alignment to the strategy. As a result, we will get a balanced usage of resources in executing program, project, and operation. And that was our second gap. Our third and last gap is about the black hole. You know, sometimes the expression of black hole, anything will go into that black hole will disappear. And this is what happened for a lot of deliverables and benefits I saw. This is our last gap. It's about adding real value to the business by realizing and continue realizing the benefits. Remember, there could be more gaps, but today we focused only on the three we mentioned earlier. So we filled or bridged the first two gaps. It's time to see who will take over program and project outcomes or benefits. I saw a lot of black holes in this area actually, where all outcomes disappear. I saw a lot of deliverables on the shelf. I saw a lot of outcomes died in back stores. What makes me angry when I see low-hanging fruits and nobody able or interested in hanging it? Why do you think this is happening? I believe the problem, which is no benefit realization nor value increase, is because of three reasons. The first one, or the first cause, not having increased value. This issue is having benefits without responsible. The reason for having no increased value is getting benefits, but all of them are fatherless, or call them orphan benefits. And these orphan benefits were orphan outcomes earlier. So we need to seek for their father from the beginning. That's why benefit management can help us by doing two activities to solve these problems. The first activity is benefit transition, and the second is benefit sustainment. The benefit transition activity, the purpose is to ensure that the program benefit are transitioned to operational areas. Remember, we have strategy, portfolio, program and project, and operation. Now it's time to engage the operation people with us to receive all outcomes, all benefits, and make sure they will realize it. Value actually appear after having these benefits realized. Value is delivered when the organization or other program beneficiaries are able to utilize these benefits. Back to that nice chart, benefits transition ensures that the scope of the transition is defined. This is the main purpose of benefit transition. The stakeholder in the receiving organization or functions are identified and participating in the planning. So I imagine that you are either a vendor or a client. In both sides, you have to think about the benefit. Will it be transition to you or to your client, or it's only your scope or your project scope is only delivering those boxes? I believe in the future, all project managers, and I will explain that more, should think about the benefit not only about the deliverables. The program benefits are measured and sustained. Plans are developed in this area of program closure, the program transition. And the transition should be executed by both sides, by the program team and also by operational team. The second step, I believe, will help us to bridge the gap. The third gap is benefit sustainment. As the program is closed, the responsibility of sustaining the benefits provided by the program to the operation team. Benefits may be sustained through the operations, maintenance, new projects. Sometimes you need to have another project to sustain the benefits. This is acceptable. The benefit sustainment plan is your tool to make everything clear for all parties. It should be developed prior to the program closure. Don't wait until the program is closed and start to develop this benefit sustainment plan. And it will include a lot of good information for operation team. It will include risks, processes, measures, metrics, and tools necessary to ensure the continued realization of the benefits delivered. Benefit sustain plan, I believe this is one of the important documents for the program manager to deliver real and mature benefit to the operation team. Planning for the establishment and operation support of the product, service, or result should be a function of the program as well as the operation team. By that, if we did a good benefit transition, we will not have orphan benefits, and we will make sure it is sustained, and we will plan for the operation team to realize the benefits. Once they realize and continue realizing the benefits, they will feel, and all of us will feel, the increased value in the organization. Those are the main three gaps I wanted to discuss today, and how benefit management can help you. The question now, how to do all of that? It's not only a theoretical session. Actually, we need to do a lot to make it a practical one. After knowing these three gaps and understanding the benefit management, what should we do? The first thing, I believe, we should create and make sure that these bridges exist and we understand it carefully. We need to create a benefit management culture in our organization. And regardless you have or you don't have these gaps, the benefit should be the leader. Your organization should be benefit driven, not KPIs, not deliverables driven. It should be benefit driven. Another thing, we need to learn first and rethink of the benefit management. I believe benefit realization is the main vehicle to achieve any strategic objective. Project management and project managers nowadays are mature enough to move to the next level. And when I'm saying next level, usually all PMP people are looking for PGMP or portfolio management certified professional. I believe thinking about benefit and how to manage it is the first step, regardless of the certificate you are looking for. Also, on the discipline side, I believe the benefit management should be a part of the portfolio management. Why I'm saying that, because the benefit realization happened by running and changing the business. Remember that lovely chart? Whatever you are doing in the organization after setting the business strategy is either running the business or changing in the business. And this is the only domain contains both activities, running business and changing business, is the portfolio. And the same is benefit realization. Sometimes you are realizing current or exist benefits, and sometimes you are realizing new benefits you created. So we need to rethink. And since we mentioned rethinking of anything, I have to remind you of the most common word all consultants are saying: it depends. It depends on your organization, your situation. So rethink of benefit management and rethink how to position and where to position. I believe benefit management should be there in your mind, in your terminologies, in your documents, in your templates, in your methodology. I'm wondering if there a program without benefit, if there a project will not lead to a benefit. And again, either you are a vendor or client, whatever you are doing will feed to certain benefit. Organizational wise, maybe the entity who is responsible for portfolio management is the right entity to take care of benefit management. In some organization, it is strategy management office, and in other, it could be strategic PMO. So wherever the portfolio management, I believe this is the right location for benefit management. And again, if you will position it, it depends on your situation. One more thing about the benefit and what should you do now. I believe you have to be a benefit seeker, looking for benefits in everything you are doing. Not only what's benefit, but how to realize it, who is responsible to define it, to harvest the low-hanging fruit. Think about going for BGMP, because the benefit management is core subject there. And also try to be benefit messenger. Help your organization to adopt and adapt the benefit management. Get enough knowledge and present it to them. At least share with them this presentation showing that there are common 3 gaps, and benefit management can be one of the solution for bridging these gaps. At the end, I believe we need to have few takeaways. Think it is vital to understand your organization management context and how each management field, management discipline, management entity should be communicated and have open and healthy dialogue with others. Try to find if there are any gaps among these organization management context. Benefit management is, in my opinion, is the right future mindset for all project managers and project management practitioners in general. Rethink and reposition benefit management in your organization. Be both seeker and messenger who looks for and after benefit in all your organization work. By that, I would love to thank you all for listening, and please, I will be sending that presentation on my LinkedIn if you need to have a copy of it, and please send me any question and any feedback. Floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Alsadeq, for a very interesting presentation. Folks, now we are open for the question and answers. If you have any questions, you can put it in the question box, or you could raise your hand. There is a hand icon available on your webinar console. So if you click on it, you'll be able to talk to Mr. Alsadeq. So let me go. There are a couple of hands which are raised. Let me go to the first one. We have Hashim Talab. Hashim Talab, can you please introduce yourself and ask the question?
Yes, if you can hear me, gentlemen, my question to Mr. Imad Alsadeq, could you give us any examples of organizations, whether government or private organizations, who really applied benefit management in their program execution, and give us some flavor of the kind of success they have come across?
Well, as you saw, I'm talking about gaps I saw, and many organizations I'm dealing with currently are in the beginning of adapting benefit management. And one of the beauty of adapting benefit management is to bring all people into the same table. I'm working with government entities as well as some private entities, and both are in the early stages of adapting benefit management. And it's not an old subject, actually, to be honest and to be fair. I'm not expecting a lot of organization adapting it. I saw some examples outside of Saudi Arabia, especially in Australia. I visited recently, and I saw a lot of good examples there in government sector especially. So the flavor of benefit, the mindset of benefit, especially here in Saudi Arabia, and there are a lot of contract management, and the government regulation is not tackling the benefit rather than the deliverables. All our judgment on the vendor performance is based on their deliverable on time within the scope. I believe if we can inject the benefits, which will include change management, will include a lot of teaching, learning, a lot of other activities, not only moving boxes as I mentioned. Imagine installing a system. A lot of vendors are installing a lot of systems without any benefit realized from this installation. Benefit management will fix this gap, I believe.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brother Hashim, for your question. Now let me move to another caller. We have Mr. Tom Silva. Mr. Tom, you raised your hand. Could you please introduce yourself and ask the question?
Hi, Imad. It's Tom Silva from Adelaide. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Nice to have you here.
Really liked your presentation, and I just wanted to make a couple of observations that I relate to very strongly with what you've said. I think, the maturity on benefit management is very, very low. I especially find that in organisations that I see in Australia. The second thing that I see as well, and you may want to comment on this as well, is that I think that sometimes organisations are almost scared to make to realise a benefit or to measure a benefit just in case the benefit didn't realise what they thought it would, and therefore they miss the opportunity to question why that benefit wasn't made, and therefore lose the opportunity to continually improve their process to make sure that they are getting better at that benefit management. And of course, the cultural side of that is something that needs to be changed.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Tom. I believe we have a lot of what we call not only orphan benefits, orphan outcomes, but we can call orphan projects. Suddenly you discover that this project is not delivering any value. Who decided for it? Who authorized the execution? And nobody can claim because there is no benefit out of it.
Yeah, totally agree.
Good.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tom, for the question. Let me move to another question that's raised. So we have Brother Hazem Abdullah. Brother Hazem Abdullah, could you please introduce yourself and ask the question? Appreciate if you could be precise, as we're running short on time. So
Hello?
please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. It's just a comment, if you can comment on it. Not engaging stakeholders from early stage in the project. This will enlarge the gap between project outcomes and the operations. Do you agree with this point?
Well, actually, this is part of the benefit management we are discussing today, the benefit identification. The early you can define benefit, the better for realizing it. The early you can engage people, telling them, or actually answering the question, why? This is the most important question in the life, actually. Why we are doing that? Why we are delivering this, installing this system? Why we need to reduce the amount of cases? Why we need our customers more happier? Why? Why? At the end, you will find the benefit, the real benefit, or the real strategic objective, and by that, there will be harmony and very good communication frequency between everyone. All of us are targeting the same aim in our language, in our terminologies, but it's the same aim we agreed upon. I agree with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brother Hazem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have another caller who's raised his hand. We have Brother Redwan Assad. Brother Redwan, could you please ask the question, rather a short one, if you could, brother, and introduce yourself also.
Okay, thank you very much for this presentation, Imad. I really like your presentation. My question for you is that, what should a program manager do during the execution of the program when he realizes that the benefit identified in the early stages of the programs are during the execution is not going towards the same end benefits? What if the benefits are diverting? We are not getting the end benefits during the execution program. So how can a program manager bring back the original benefits for which this program was started?
Good question. No, it's not necessary. This is another definition of success I wrote in my book. It's not always achieving your targets success. Sometimes you achieve other benefits, side benefits. It's not necessarily the original benefits you planned for. But unless these benefits equal the investment, you have to rethink about the program in general. So the first point I'm raising here, it's not necessarily the same benefit. If you got equal or alternative benefit, stay with that program and continue. If you miss that benefit and there is no expected benefit, then as we mentioned, there is a portfolio revision session. Sometimes it's not portfolio revision, but the strategy revision meeting. You may need to kill that component. I will call it in this way, in this case, component, not necessarily program. You don't have to continue with a filler story.
Imad,
Other-
let me raise my question again. My question was that the end objective or end benefit, you are still going for those benefits, but the program is diverting from those benefits, and you need to achieve the same end benefits. I mean, benefits are not changing. I agree with you what you are saying, that you have to go and reevaluate the portfolio again, but the end objective or end benefit is same, but your program is diverting. How you can bring back so that you can realize, stakeholders, that the benefits are not going to achieve if we divert it over program as it is happening now.
Well, then it's a matter of execution issue. It's not a matter of planning. The benefits or the benefit are still there, but you are not going into it. It's a matter of execution. So I believe you need to review the plan and the actions there. You need to escalate something, do it. If you need to replan or make a full plan B or fallback plan, do it. It's a matter of execution in this way.
All right, got it. Thank you. Thank you for your answer.
All right, thank you very much for the Ridwan. That really brings us towards the end of the webinar. I know we have a number of other questions posted in the question box, so we request all those who have raised the questions if they could directly reach to the context that was illustrated by Brother Alsadeq. With that note, just to give you a quick announcement that we are recording this webinar also, which will be shared later. You can download a soft copy of the presentation from the MILE community, the link which was shared. You all will be eligible for claiming 2 PDUs from PMI AGC and instructions, and the guidelines will be sent to you within the next 24 hours, all those who have attended this webinar. So thank you very much once again, Mr. Alsadeq, for your time. I really want to thank you on behalf of the Madinah Institute, Leadership and Entrepreneurship.
Thank you and thank you for everyone.
And thank you all of those, Thank you all of those who participated in this webinar. Please stay tuned to webinar.mile.org. There are a few other upcoming webinars in collaboration with PMI, for which you will be eligible to claim the PDUs also. So please stay tuned to webinar.mile.org and do check your inbox in the next 24 hours. You shall receive an email with the guidelines and instructions on how to claim the PDU for this webinar that you attend. Thank you very much.
Madinah Institute for Leadership and Entrepreneurship, MILE.